How are we going, folks? Welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin and welcome to the final day of our countdown. Our final countdown, if you will. That's not a bad song title, is it? Our final day of our Judas Priest countdown to Invincible Shield. Yeah, I got there in the end, didn't I? Yep, here we are. As of today, this is the last album by Judas Priest until Invincible Shield comes out tomorrow. Yeah, where to start with this one? So the band, rekindled, if you will, with Redeemer of Souls, the previous album, and in my opinion, anyway, they came back rejuvenated, re-inspired, and put together a phenomenal album. And how do you follow that up? Well, what you do is you put out another one that's even better, and that's what they did with Firepower. Really, I think the only fault I find with Redeemer of Souls wasn't really exposed until Firepower came out, and the way Firepower is actually a better album than Redeemer of Souls, that it's just tighter. It feels like Redeemer of Souls, you got this songbook. I mean, yeah, what was it, 13 songs and then 5 bonus songs. You got like an EP with it, which is great, but. And the album on its own, without the bonus tracks, is an hour and 4 minutes, while this is just 58. So this is just within the hour. So with that, even with that loss of 4 minutes, and then the disregard of the 5 bonus tracks, it just feels like where you pull the laces on a trainer, it just all tightens up. That's the best way to put this album. It's just a tightened up, fat trimmed version of Redeemer of Souls, and probably just gets to the point, really. While Redeemer of Souls felt like it was a songbook, this is 13 songs, no, 14 songs in fact. Well, there's one track that's just a minute interlude, so 13 proper songs. There's a 4-year gap between the albums as well. Redeemer of Souls is 2014. I can't believe that album's 10 years old. This came out in 2018, and you've got the same lineup, obviously. Richie Folker's on guitars now, and as a songwriter, and they basically just pick up where the last album left off. And to me, it's just a more tighter, concise, more focused effort. And like I say, Redeemer of Souls, love that album, nothing wrong with it, but it's just a better version of it. One final note as well is Andy Sneap produced this album. For those who don't know who Andy Sneap is, he is pretty much the Premier League metal producer now. I wish Metallica would use him. I'd be quite curious to see Iron Maiden use him as well. But everyone else has used him. So he, trying to think now. He started out as a guitarist in UK thrash metalers Sabat, and when Sabat dissolved, he jumped over and became a producer. Started out with bands like Cathedral, Benediction. He did the first couple of albums by Blaze Bayley, his solo effort. It was originally just called Blaze. And then just bit by bit, Biomechanical, Amon and Marv. I think he did Carcass's comeback album. He just climbed up. Where he was a guitarist as well, he knows. He's been the musician himself, and he's obviously a guitar head, and he's just climbed up. I did work with Nevermore. I know what did he do with Nevermore? I know he did the remix of the album that didn't do very well. I'm just going through Exodus. He's done pretty much everything Exodus has done since they reformed. A couple of Fear Factory albums, Fozzy, the first Fozzy album, the first 2 Fozzy albums. Hickhate's Enthroned, for all you black metalers out there, remember them. He did Iron Monkey, did producing, mixing of them. Did the mixing, mastering, the first job for a Cowboy album. Kill to This, anyone remember them? Did the last couple of Creator albums. He did do engineering and mixing on Machine Head's The More Things Change. But now, he's got Testament, Accept, and Megadeth under his belt now. He's done 3 albums with Megadeth. He did Inside the Torn Apart by Napalm Death back in '97. Oh yes, he's done quite a bit with Nevermore actually. 1, 2. So he's done, he produced Dead Heart and a Dead World, remixed Enemies of Reality, did This Godless Endeavour, their last. Oh no, and their last album, Enemies. No, start that again. Dead Heart in a Dead World, This Godless Endeavour, The Obsidian Conspiracy, and he did the remixing of Enemies of Reality. We got there in the end, didn't we? Killing Peace by... Yeah, you get the idea. He's even done a couple of Overkill albums as well. Yeah, you get the idea. Shit hot producer. And now, yeah, he's produced this album. Now, what happened as well, it came out not long after this album was released, that Glenn Timpton has started to suffer from Parkinson's. They were quite... That's get annoying, isn't it? They were quite adamant that Glenn wrote his parts on this album and played all his guitar parts, and Andy did not fill in and play for him. To be honest, I wouldn't have cared if he did. I wouldn't have held that against him. If he can play well enough to kind of get the idea across, or if he can write, and Andy played it for... He still wrote the songs. He's still Glenn Timpton, for God's sake. And if he could do, you know, maybe not go quite as widdly as he used to be able to, so Andy just filled it in for him to fit his vision, wouldn't have bothered me. But they're adamant that he did play it, so fine. But like I say, I wouldn't have held it against him if he didn't. But unfortunately, he's not now in the live band. Touring, 2-hour show, it's a bit too much for him. So Andy Sneap has now stepped in as the second guitarist. So you've now got Richie Faulkner and Andy Sneap in the live band. And Glenn has occasionally come out and done the encore with them. And it looks like Andy's going to be producing this new album as well, but there's no mention about whether or not he's played on it or not. I dare say he's probably done a few guest solos and whatnot, though. I think he does that occasionally on the albums he produces anyway. So there's not really a lot to say about this, other than it's a perfect Judas Priest album. It is a 10 out of 10. If Redeemer of Souls is 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10, this is the full 10. I don't think it's a perfect Judas Priest album. Is it the perfect Judas Priest album? Probably not. I don't think this is going to replace your favourite, but I think it would be in your top 5. Or it should be, at least. Depends on when you jumped on board as well. If you prefer the 70s, you've probably got something to say about that. But then again, if you're into the 70s, you probably wouldn't have made it far into this series. I would have pissed you off ages ago, and you would have just given up. But it's 13 just perfect songs, perfectly paced out, perfect variety. We've got storming fast tracks, we've got slow mid-paced groovy tracks, we've got slow doomy tracks, we've got melodic, blazing solos, pounding drums. Rob Halford has no business singing this well at his age. He's making a mockery of everyone, quite frankly. Let's get into it. Firepower, that's up there with Painkiller as an album opener, or Free Will Burning. Lightning Strikes, we got a nice full pelt opener into a nice mid-pace gallop with Lightning Strikes. Evil Never Dies just picks the pace up again with a big massive chorus. Never the Heroes is a heartbreaking song about war and just how fucking pointless it all is, and it's always the people that didn't start it and had nothing to do with it always cop the shit end of it all. But a great melodic chorus and a great catchy number. Necromancer picks things up again with a stomping chorus. Necromancer. Children of the Sun kind of picks up where Never the Heroes leaves off, really. Again, really good song with a really good chorus. It's nice and melodic, nice and moody. And then I think the what do I say? The centerpiece, the smack back in the middle. You've got a minute-long introduction called Guardians, which is this string arrangement, and it's a shame it doesn't go on longer. Actually, it's that good. It's really atmospheric, and it really builds up, and then kicks into Rising from Ruins, and that song is phenomenal. It is one of the best songs Judas Priest has ever written. It's just anthemic. It hits you in the heart. It's just awesome stuff. Then Flamethrower, really good fun song, followed by Spectre as well. And yeah, then we got Traitor's Gate, another good song. I think No Surrender or Lone Wolf. I can't quite remember. Or it might have been Traitor's Gate off the. One of the there's a couple of songs here that go sort of slow and doomy in a Black Sabbathy kind of way, which is really good. And Sea of Red, bit like what I said yesterday with the end of the beginning or beginning of the end, whatever it was, is a nice mellow slow track with just Rob singing, of course, with the obligatory boom bang, and it kicks in towards the end. Looks like that's kind of become how they close albums now, but I'm perfectly fine with that. It's just everything that was great about Redeemer of Souls, but just that little bit better. It's like they just built on that foundation and just tightened everything up, really. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I think this is better than Redeemer of Souls, but there's nothing wrong with Redeemer of Souls in any way. And in these last two albums, it just feels like Priests have just accumulated their whole back catalogue and just gone, right, take a bit of this, bit of that, bit of that. 2 songs from that. They know what's worked and what hasn't, and they've just gathered everything that has worked and just concentrated on that and just made, the perfect. You could say it's formulaic, but they found their formula, and it's a formula that works. So good for them. When it's producing results like this, you can't argue with it, really. And like I say, not necessarily the perfect Priest album, but it is a perfect Priest album. And unfortunately, I never got to see them on this tour because they never played the UK. They did. They played Bloodstock. They headlined Bloodstock, and that was literally just one show. And the reason they never played here is because they got tied into the Ozzy Osbourne farewell tour that never happened. It got cancelled 3 times. On the 3rd time, they gave it up. And by that time, obviously you had the lockdowns and all that bollocks. But then, yeah, by the time it had come round, it was time for a new album, and that's why it looks like they're starting their world tour in the UK. So that I'll be seeing them in Wembley at the end of this month, supported by Saxon and Uriah Heep. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm going to be looking forward to talking to you all tomorrow about the new album. So yeah, here we are. We made it. We got to the end. I hope you're all looking forward to the new album. Let me know what you're thinking of Firepower. I hope you've enjoyed this series. Thank you very, very much, everyone that's been watching along, and you've all been leaving me comments and giving me feedback and arguing, which is all good fun. You've made me reassess or maybe want to give an album another try. I've had people say to me, I've made them want to give an album another try, which is nice. And yeah, thanks very much, everyone. And let's do this again. Yeah, if because of this series you've joined the channel, thanks a lot and welcome aboard. Go and have a look through the archives. There's lots of good stuff. Check out Maidencast or Rushcast, which is a bit more in-depth version of what I've been doing here, but it's been with a guest or a co-host. And we've been going a lot more in depth, song by song. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it, folks. Yeah, I guess I'll see you tomorrow, bright and early. Thanks a lot, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.